If you can't tell, you probably can't because I only have like no subscribers and I've only posted 7 videos, but I changed my name from Sound Money to Simulacra. Welcome, subscribe. Okay, now on to the topic for today. The topic for today is digital capital and Bitcoin as digital capital. And so, to understand why Bitcoin is the best digital capital that we can have and the best capital in general that we do have, you have to understand exactly what is capital. And so, to think about what is capital, let's go to I'll be someone who is not the greatest poster child for human rights activism, but Hernando de Soto. Hernando de Soto labeled capital as economic potential energy. And so, what does that mean? Well, my STEM majors out there, shout out to y'all. We have to think about what is potential energy in the form of economics and capital. Now, we know that potential energy is the latent value that a organism, a system has that can produce or has the capacity to produce future growth. It's a forward looking, a future looking metric. We're looking towards the future. How much does my thing, this thing that I have right now, it could be a car, it could be capital, it could be Bitcoin, it could be a house. But how much potential energy does that have? And what is the capacity for me to leverage that potential energy into the future? Cool. So, when we're talking about economics, that means we're bringing in time into the equation because, at least with investing in markets, time, the metric of time is extremely important. And when we're looking at potential energy, economic potential energy, we want to think about time horizons and thinking on long, long time horizons. We want our capital to stay at its max potential energy for a long time horizon. And when we can think about long time horizons, that means we want to make very long term decisions. And so we have a low time preference for our capital. We don't really care about the flow, we care about the stock and the stock to flow ratio. And Bitcoin subsequently has the highest stock to flow ratio of any capital in existence, even gold. And so, digital capital. If you're taking everything of the physical properties that gold has, think about all the physical properties that gold has, the scarcity, the verifiableness of each gold bar. We know that that's gold and it can't be converted into anything else. It's not as dividable as paper currency, but it is what it is. You have a very hard money, and that means you want your capital to be preserved over generations, over a long period of time, and that is Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin is capital in the digital and cyber space. It's digital capital. Okay, so we know potential energy, economic potential energy, and we know that Bitcoin is digital capital. So, how can we keep the potential energy, the economic potential energy of a commodity or an asset such as Bitcoin? How can we keep it at its max over long time horizons? Well, don't print money. That's pretty easy to do. Just don't do massive amounts of quantitative easing, bailing out corporations and large banks instead of the people. That's one way. The other way is just flat out not print money. You need to create economic value and revenue from actual productive activities, not just speculation. And so when you look at a long time horizon, we see in the stock to flow ratio that the nurturing of the stock is very important over long time horizons. And so to really understand capital, you have to understand future growth and max potential. And Bitcoin has the highest max potential that we have as a commodity. Only 5% of the global population even own any Bitcoin, And so if you're buying Bitcoin right now in 2025, I know you think that, damn, I'm late. You're not late. Buying Bitcoin in 2025, as Michael Saylor would say it, is probably the equivalent to buying New York real estate in 1850. Was it a bad idea to buy New York real estate in 1850? Probably not. Was it a bad idea to buy New York real estate in 1950? No. And it probably won't be a bad idea. Well, I don't know. With this administration, who knows? But it probably will not be a bad idea to buy New York real estate in 2050. And you can think about your Bitcoin like that. It's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin, even if you're buying at all-time highs, which we've been hitting pretty frequently recently. You're still buying Bitcoin and getting your Bitcoin at a very good price. If you think the Bitcoin's going to 10x from here to a million, we're at 100K right now. We actually just dipped below 100K to about 98K ish, but I believe Bitcoin's going to a million. And so if you believe that, then you want to nurture your stock. And nurturing your stock looks like not committing speculation, not doing anything you can, even though those things may ruin your social credibility or your financial credibility to others, to increase your flow. In this money printing, quick, high time preference society that we live in now, what the US is currently created, degenerate fiat capitalism, as the Bitcoin community likes to call it, then your money is pretty like frivolous, it's pretty useless. You make short-term decisions. You don't think about 10 years from now. And you want to increase your flow in the now, but you should be focusing on nurturing your stock. Think about it as if you were a farmer. And I don't know, you grew oats. You're an oat farmer. Super boring, but I would imagine a couple thousand years ago, you'd be the top guy in the village as the oat farmer. And so imagine you have to make a decision. You can tend and graze and pick from your farm at a rate, growing and producing from your oat farm in perpetuity forever. But your flow will be reasonable, but your stock of oats that you have will be massive. They'll have a lot of leverage and they'll have a lot of economic potential energy. But maybe your flow is you're only making, I don't know, $10,000 a month in oat production from your farm. Pretty good, pretty good. Imagine you want to increase your flow, but to increase your flow, you're overworking your farm more. So yeah, you could increase your flow and now you're making, I don't know, $50,000 from your oat farm. Congratulations if you're an oat farmer and you're making $50,000 a month. But what if that $50,000 a month, what if that increase in flow leads to you only being able to reap the benefits from your oat farm for 15 years or 20 years? And so, as you can see, when we look on very long time horizons and we have a low time preference, and a low time preference means that you more so are preparing for the future, you're not making short term decisions, you can see that it makes sense to nurture your stock and nurture your capital being the economic volatility of your farm. You don't want to exacerbate how quickly your farm won't be able to produce any more oats. Short-term decision making bleeds into every aspect of our lives, individually and from a government perspective. It bleeds into making short-term decisions around social planning. How are you reordering roads? Are you putting a highway somewhere where there actually could be a few third spaces that would actually enrich the community, bring the community together, or create more traffic? It really bleeds into all aspects of your life. In personal finance, should I save now, but I want this bag right now, I want this car right now? But no, if you nurture your stock, then you'll make sure that you are focusing on the most important thing, which is your capital, and therefore your time, because that's what really capital is economic potential energy over time. And I don't know about you, but my time, I feel, is pretty valuable, and I don't want it to be printed away. Not stripping your stock in that stock to flow ratio, nurturing your stock, is what will enrich your life for the better. That stock gives you the potential energy to leverage your current time that you're using right now into the future. And it's really important to nurture your stock, make sure that it doesn't degrade. It's like a positive feedback loop when you have a good stock. When you do things that are good for other people, your social credit goes up, your social capital goes up. Great. People think I'm a good person. I feel good. But also, doing good things for others is good in and of itself, and it makes other people continue to do good things for other people, and therefore you can see the positive feedback loop that follows, and that doing good things is good because it contributes to the communal aspect of good deeds. And the same thing is true of a very good sound capital like Bitcoin. When the network grows, the capital and the stock gets stronger, longer time horizons, and long term decision making is what comes out of that. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. You are watching another video from Simulacra. I'm Bryson. Like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think of digital capital, Bitcoin as digital capital, and nurturing and replenishing our good, positive capital?